The Minoan civilization, flourishing on the island of Crete from around 2000 to 1450 BCE, stands as one of the earliest and most influential societies in European history. Situated in the heart of the Mediterranean, the Minoans built a culture defined by its artistry, architecture, and maritime prowess. Archaeologist Peter Warren remarks, the Minoans developed the first advanced society in Europe, a civilization of art, architecture, and trade centered on their grand palaces. The roots of Minoan civilization trace back to the Neolithic period, but it was during the Bronze Age that the Minoans truly flourished. The island's fertile soil and strategic position fostered the growth of small farming communities that eventually coalesced into powerful city-states. By around 2000 BCE, these communities had developed into a sophisticated society, characterized by the construction of palaces, large, complex structures that served as the administrative, religious, and economic hubs of Minoan life. These palaces, such as those found at Knossos, Phaistos, and Malia, were more than mere residences for rulers. They were the beating heart of Minoan culture. Reinhold Higgins, in his work on Minoan archaeology, describes Knossos as a labyrinthine complex, the architectural and political heart of Minoan Crete. The palace complexes of the Minoans were architectural marvels of their time. Knossos, the largest and most famous of these, covered over 20,000 square meters and included residential quarters, storerooms, workshops, and religious sanctuaries. The palaces were intricately designed with advanced features like drainage systems, light wells, and fresco-adorned walls. These structures were not fortified, reflecting a period of relative peace and stability on Crete, a society secure in its dominance. The palaces were also centers of craft and production. Pottery, textiles, and metalwork produced within their walls were traded across the Mediterranean. The sheer scale and complexity of these palaces suggest a highly organized society, one that could mobilize large numbers of people for construction and manage the economic resources of the island effectively. Religion played a central role in Minoan society, deeply intertwined with their everyday lives and governance. The Minoans worshipped the pantheon of deities, with a particular emphasis on female goddesses, who represented fertility, nature, and the cycle of life. Among these, the mother goddess held a prominent position. According to Sarah B. Pomeroy, the Minoan mother goddess was a central figure in their pantheon, embodying the life-giving forces of nature. The palaces themselves were sites of religious activity. The central courtyards of these complexes were likely used for ceremonial purposes, possibly including the famous bull-leaping rituals depicted in Minoan art. Sacred symbols such as the double axe or labrys and the horns of consecration were prominent in these religious contexts, signifying the Minoans' deep connection to their gods and the natural world around them. Minoan art is renowned for its beauty, naturalism, and vibrant colors. The frescoes that adorned the walls of palaces and homes often depicted scenes of nature, religious ceremonies, and daily life, offering us a glimpse into the world of the Minoans. These artworks were characterized by a fluidity and grace that reflected the Minoans' deep connection to the natural world. Diamantis Panagiotopoulos notes, Minoan art is remarkable for its portrayal of the natural world, from the beauty of dolphins to the grace of flowers, capturing the essence of life in ancient Crete. Pottery was another important aspect of Minoan art, with styles evolving from simple designs in the early period to more complex and ornate forms in the later phases of the civilization. The so-called Kamare Square, known for its thin walls and intricate patterns, is a statement to the Minoans' skill in ceramics. The Minoans were also masterful seafarers, establishing a vast trade network that extended throughout the Aegean into Egypt, the Levant, and beyond. They traded goods such as pottery, olive oil, wine, and precious metals, which not only brought wealth to Crete, but also facilitated cultural exchanges with neighboring civilizations. The Minoans' influence can be seen in the art and architecture of the Mycenaeans in mainland Greece, who would later inherit and adapt many aspects of Minoan culture. Ellen N. Davis highlights the significance of Minoan trade in her study, stating the Minoans were active participants in the international trade networks of the Bronze Age, engaging in commerce with Egypt and the Levant. These trade connections helped spread Minoan art, technology, and religious practices across the ancient world. The legacy of the Minoans endures in the ruins of their great palaces and the artifacts that continue to emerge from the Cretan soil. They laid the cultural foundations for subsequent civilizations, influencing the Mycenaeans and, through them, the broader Greek world. As we continue to study and uncover the remnants of this remarkable society, we gain a deeper understanding of the early history of Europe and the ancient Mediterranean.